All right. Hi, Lorinda. How are you today?
I'm good, Jennifer.
Oh, it's so nice to see you. And we were just checking in before we hit record here. And so Lorinda and I definitely like to talk. So I think we could probably talk for a long time. But the reason why you're here is I really wanted to share your wins and your successes in the program because it's been amazing to watch the last 5 months with you in the program. So thank you for being here. And I guess the first thing I want to ask you is where to begin. You know, you sent me this long list of all the things that have happened to you since you started. It's funny, when I was thinking about when we first met on that first discovery call, you don't even seem like the same person sitting in front of me now. You literally have not only physically transformed, but emotionally. So I guess let's start off with the physical transformation. Like, you've lost a lot of weight. Like, you don't look like the same person anymore. So can you share with women who might be watching what you were like before the program and kind of what's happened since you started?
Sure. Well, I want to add that I'm 55 years old, and pretty much my entire adult life, I've weighed the same, except when I was pregnant with my 3 children. But I've always weighed like 125 approximately. And in the last year, I think I was going through maybe the beginning of perimenopause. I mean, there's no way to know you're in perimenopause until you're in menopause and you look back and like, oh, yep, I was just in perimenopause. But I just started gaining so much weight, and it happened really quickly, and I was really uncomfortable in my own skin because I hadn't really weighed that much. I don't know if you've gained weight rapidly, you know what I'm talking about. Like, just things just don't fit, and you just like everything's just different. And I'm really sensitive to body changes, anyways. I'm very aware of changes that happen in my body, and so I was probably almost 25 pounds heavier. And
Within a year, you said
within a
that
year,
happened? Wow. Okay.
maybe even less. And I know that pandemic had to do with it, and working from home instead of working at school. I'm a teacher. But I went to my doctor and I was really frustrated, and I couldn't figure out how to lose it. And my doctors kept saying that it just was part of getting older, and I needed to accept it and be okay with it and just learn how to come to terms with my new body. And it didn't feel right. And that wasn't why I joined the program. But once I started following the recommended foods for my body type on Vata, I it didn't take long for me to fall right into a routine of eating. And my tendency over my whole, and I talk a lot, so I'm like, I can't tell a short story, but my whole life, I skip meals. I can't tell when I'm hungry. I can go the whole day and be like, oh, did I even eat today? And so I know that I wasn't getting enough calories. I was often very tired by the end of the day. And or even midday. Midday, I always wanted to take a nap. Like, I was just sluggish and felt heavy and like not tall. I just felt like I was always like this. And then so once I started eating properly, and I was keeping track of what I was eating through an app that kept track of my calories. And I actually started that about a month before I started the program, and I saw that I wasn't eating enough. So I started trying to eat more, and then I joined this program, and I was even eating more calories than I've probably ever eaten, and I started losing weight. And what was it, Jennifer? Like 2.5 months, I was down to 125 again, and I have since lost another 8 pounds more than where what I thought was my goal weight. And I feel so strong. I feel like I can sit up tall. When I'm walking, I feel like I'm tall, and I'm not tall. I'm 5'4", but I feel tall. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I have all this energy, and it just was a miraculous gift to be able to get back to the weight that I felt comfortable in, that and knowing that it is a healthy weight for me.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. Not only were you eating a bit more on the program because we were trying to balance your meals, you were losing weight from
Mhm.
before. So that was really nice. And I noticed, right away when you started losing the weight, your energy started changing. You were coming back to who you were. So I guess the next thing I'm curious about is I always remember in the first few sessions we had together and on the first call we met, I'd say, "How are you, Lorinda?" "Oh, I'm exhausted." And oh, I'm exhausted. And I knew it was going to change. And then, wow, to see that change, like you don't even seem the type of person that would be dragging your body all day long through your day. And you have so much more energy. What does that feel like now to have just this, like, you're alive again?
I do feel alive again. And when in the last few weeks, I had 1 week where I was off kilter and I just was off, and I could tell that I wasn't quite eating right. Um, and that it's the contrast. So like right now, I feel like this is who I always have been. And it's hard for me to even imagine that I wasn't, but that 1 week, a few weeks back, the contrast was apparent because I was feeling like I just didn't feel tall. I didn't feel full of life. And I was like, haha, I ate blah, blah, blah last night. And that's not really on my list. And I was able to make those connections. So for me, having the contrast helps me realize where I've come, because otherwise it just happens so gradually that I just feel full of life. And then that one day when I was not full of life, I
Yeah.
the contrast made me realize how far I have come.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we all have those days where we don't feel full of life. And they really are a reminder of, wow, this is what I always used to feel like. So I know a big part for you has been the group support calls. You show up every single week with a whole long list of questions, and you're definitely the one that has thought about it all week of what you want to ask once you get to the group support call. How important were the group support calls for you over the past 5 months? Like, did you really enjoy them? Did you find them super supportive? I know your group in particular just got so close. So tell me your experience from your side, what the group support was like.
It's instrumental. I can't
Mm,
imagine doing this without that part
mm,
of it. I I find that the connection and the interactions with everybody, and hearing what they eat or what they're not eating, or they're hearing about their wins and their frustrations and their struggles.
mm.
I feel like I can see myself in each of them, and um, I can take that information and apply it to my own experience. And without it, I think that this would have been hard to do. I would probably be further behind um, than I already am, because I'm Bata and I'm playing catch up all the time. But um, but I think it wouldn't have been as motivating for me to stick with it. I think I would have procrastinated or found other things to do. And by having the group, it helped keep me accountable as well. And
Mm,
this, like you said, our particular group has become quite close. We created our own group chat on WhatsApp, and we're from all over the continent.
yeah.
Well, not all over, but like we're not in the same, none of us are really in the same area. So yeah, all over. And and we're just there for each other. If we're feeling down, we just write a note, and then all of a sudden, pop, 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 everyone's like giving us a lift that has been, like I said, instrumental in this whole process for me. I feel like there is no mistake. There's no not consequences. What's the word? What is the word when it's no mistakes? Like
Coincidence.
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 That's the word I'm trying. Thank you. There are no coincidences. Like the universe puts things where you need them, and
Yeah.
I was placed. It was no coincidence that I found you, Jennifer, or that this group, that you put us all together. Like we were all meant to be sisters through this process.
Oh, I love this group so much. There is just this magic about the group, such a coherence and cohesiveness and
Mhm.
support and love. And I think about some of our calls, we laugh most of the calls because we're funny as humans, what we do and what we get ourselves into. But there's a lot of tears,
Mhm.
everyone seems to have those weeks where it's just, I call them those gutter weeks. And to see everyone just be there for everyone and support them and love them. And that's been amazing for me to witness too. And that's been a really good part of it. So I guess one of the final things I want to ask you is, when we were on our discovery call, like the beginning of the way before you joined there, decided to join, what would you say to someone who is kind of on the fence? Like, oh, I don't know if this would actually work for me. I've tried everything else to lose weight, have more energy, balance my hormones, sleep better. I know you're sleeping way better. There's such a long list of things that have
Mhm.
transformed for you. But what would you say to someone right now who is kind of, is this going to work? Is it a good investment for myself?
It's a really good question. Um, I'm a single mom to three teenagers, three girls, two in college, and I have a very tight budget. And making this investment was terrifying to me. Like,
Mm,
I, it was scary because I didn't know for sure what I was getting into. I had never done anything like this before. I didn't know, I couldn't even imagine the value that it could bring to my life. I just really had to dig deep inside my heart and my soul and decided to just trust with abandon, like, and throw myself out there. And I have to say that it's one of the most um, satisfying and rewarding experiences in my 55 years that I've ever had. Like
aw.
I don't even know how to explain it. Like I have learned in this last 5 months how much I've neglected myself at the expense of, like, or taking care of others at the expense of
Mm,
myself is what I'm trying to say. My my marriage when I was married, and my children, and my job as a teacher. Um, Everyone comes first, always, before I ever took care of myself. And what I'm learning in this program is so much more than just how to eat or how to balance my hormones through how I eat, or that I miraculously lost weight. That, like I said, I wasn't expecting that. It wasn't why I joined this. I didn't even know that would happen. But I think that the thing that I've really learned that's the most powerful and important and impactful to me is to believe in myself and to
mm,
love myself and take care of myself first. Because without that, like, I can't be there for everyone at the same
mm.
level. And I feel like right now, I that inner glow that I always knew was inside me, but was hidden and squashed my whole life, like, is coming out. And I feel like I have so much more to give. And I would never have guessed that was possible. And I'm taking care of me first.
Oh, you're going to make me cry. And I have cried on the calls before because it's emotional when you see someone just give, 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 and they've
Mm-hmm.
completely depleted themselves, drained themselves of all their energy helping others. And you're right, Lorinda, you get to a point in your life where you just have almost nothing to give anymore
Yeah.
because you're so depleted. And to see your body and your energy just fill up again with life, that term that we talk about in Ayurveda, ojas, that glow, that radiance, that
Mm-hmm.
happiness to be alive again. That's happened for you, and it's
Mm-hmm.
been so nice. When your words that you emailed me, that you feel, I don't know if I remember them exactly, but you feel tall, grounded, and what was the other one?
Strong.
Strong. Yes, you feel strong, tall, and grounded. And for someone who's 5'4", I love that you said you feel tall. Because yeah, you hold yourself with such a bigger presence now, and people notice. And I know people have already commented on just randomly, like, what are you doing? Why you look so good? Why are you so glowing? Like there's
Mhm,
something you're doing. And
mhm.
that's just proof that you're taking care of yourself now.
Mhm.
So
It's
nice.
it's amazing.
Yay. Well, I won't keep you much longer, Lorinda, but I just wanted to say, um, honestly, thank you for taking that leap of faith and accepting my invitation to have you in the program and doing the work in the program and being such a supportive member of the group and for just being you, being real, being honest. And I know we're going to continue, our relationship for years to come
Yeah,
because I just can't imagine not seeing you, well, at least monthly when you're done the program. So, yeah, big thanks. So much love to you. And I'm beyond thrilled of all the transformations, all the wins that you've experienced over the last 5 months. And you still have a little bit to go in the program. So, who knows what's going to happen then?
I know. Thank you so much for inviting me and taking me in. Like, feel like this was meant to be.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks, Lorinda. And I will see you next week on our group call.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Bye.